Hello everybody, happy Thursday. I hope all of you had a great couple days. Sorry that I was not on. We just had Ronnie get pretty sick and we ended up in the emergency room. I guess that was Tuesday night. We didn't get back until late. Then I had to get up Wednesday morning, run and get her medicine, and it just, I had a lot going on. Then I had all my appointments with Luke on Wednesday. So by Wednesday evening, I was just too tired. And Tuesday evening, we were in the ER, so I wasn't able to put a video up then. So that's where I've been. She hopefully is going to be all better. She has her antibiotics now and some anti-nausea medicine and some different things going on that she's taking. So hopefully, fingers crossed, she's going to be better. If she's not better in the next couple days, we're going to have to go back. So hopefully she's feeling better. But anyway, let's go on and start today. Today is a full day of meals, what we're eating on a tight budget. And let's just start with breakfast. All right, for breakfast today, there's still just a tiny bit of ice cream left. We're not having that for breakfast, don't worry. But in here, I do have a little bit of this Ezekiel bread, which would be enough for everybody to have a piece of toast. Charles is at work. And I just wanted to point out, doesn't everybody have a snowball in the freezer? Luke put this in. He does it every year. And he will pull it out in the summer. Because that's the only part of winter he likes. Alright, so it is 10:30 in the morning. And we are now doing breakfast. So I'm just going to turn this burner on, add some oil, and we are just doing eggs and toast today with that Ezekiel bread. And then we will do orange juice because I made another concentrate orange juice. I'm down to 3 concentrate orange juices left, which is wonderful. That is all getting used up. Just some salt and pepper. Okay, so here is breakfast. Now Ronnie is not up to eating breakfast yet. Hopefully that gets better today. So it is just Brooke, Ashmi, and Katie, and possibly Theo. So this is quite a bit of food. So here is eggs, the rest of the Ezekiel toast. I got the orange juice. Like I said, we're down to 3 more. Orange juice, just some butter. And then we have a variety of jams already open, or jellies. Cherry blueberry, and my favorite, raspberry. So, that's it. That's what we're having for breakfast. I'll see you guys at lunch. Okay, I'm going to start by making dinner. Sorry, trying to adjust you guys. I'm going to get it going in the crock pot today. I'm going to use this roast right here. We're going to slow cook it for 8 hours. Then to that, I'm going to add 1 onion. I'm just going to kind of leave it in chunks. I'm going to add 2 cups of chicken broth. This, I just used some chicken bouillon and some water. I'm going to use a half a cup of orange juice. We just used orange juice concentrate to make some orange juice up. Got a 1/4 cup of lime juice. For that, I just use this lime juice right here. I have some of the lime and some of the lemon. To that, you're going to add about 3 cloves of minced garlic. I'm just doing a good spoon of it. I'm sure that's more than 3 cloves, but we love garlic. Okay, I'm gonna do a tablespoon of chili powder and just kind of sprinkle it on the top. I'm gonna just put the spices on the top and let them soak in a little bit. I'm gonna do 2 teaspoons of cumin. Cumin is something I buy in big containers if I can, because we love cumin. Sometimes it is not always cheapest. Oops, I have to wash that now. Sometimes it's not always cheapest to buy the big containers, so you do gotta kind of watch that. I'm gonna do 1 teaspoon of oregano. A 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. One tablespoon of salt. That's a lot of salt. That's what the recipe calls for, and it's a big piece of meat, so. And I'm gonna throw in 2 bay leaves. That's it. When this is done, I'm just gonna rub this in a little bit. When this is done, I will shred this meat, and I'm sure I'll put some in the freezer and some will go right into dinner tonight. Okay, I'm just gonna cook this on low, like I said, for 8 hours. All right, next I want to start some bread. I want to do some cinnamon bread for later on today. Here's how you make that. All right, next I'm going to make some cinnamon bread for later today. I'm going to start with 2 cups of warm water. I'm going to add some sugar to feed the yeast. And then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of yeast. I'm just going to give it a super quick stir. And then I'm just gonna let that sit for about 5 minutes and get nice and foamy. Okay, so now this is foamy. Let's see if you guys can see. So this is my basic bread dough. I'm just gonna make it a little firmer, a little stiffer, just because I want to be able to roll it out to put the cinnamon in. So I'm gonna add about 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm going to do 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Then I'm going to add 4 to 5 cups of flour. You could add to this if you wanted some, I'm using bread flour, but you don't have to. Also, you could add to this an egg if you wanted, or you could use warm milk in place of the water. There are lots of ways you could switch it up a little bit. You could use butter instead of oil. But now I'm just going to let this knead for about 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, so if you can see, this is pretty nice. I mean, it's got some wet spots, so it still needs to go. But that's going to be very much able for me to roll it out. And I got lucky, and I got it right on the first pour of the flour. You just want to keep adding until it gets like that, but you want this to go on and still mix for quite a while, because this is still very wet. Like, you can feel the water in it. But it's only been going about a minute. Alright, next all I'm going to do is cover this and let it rise until it doubles for an hour, hour and a half, somewhere in there. Okay, for lunch today is leftovers, so I thought I'd show that real quick. This is the end of our sour cream as well. I just made some steak fajita mix last night. I just chopped up some thinly sliced steak, and there's some rice under here. And cheddar cheese would be great on that, but we don't have any. So we ate it just like this. It had some peppers from our garden, some onions, and then I had a fajita seasoning packet that I put in it with it as well. This was like a super fast dinner last night. So sorry I did not have that to show you. But that is what we are having then for lunch today, is the leftovers of that. Okay, it is risen. You see, that looks beautiful. I'm gonna punch that down. And now I'm gonna turn this into 2 loaves. So I'm just gonna divide it into 2. And then I'm just going to roll it a little bit. So I'm going to do 1 loaf with raisins and 1 loaf without, because not everybody likes raisins. So here I'm just going to take a couple tablespoons of butter and roll that all over it. Then I'm going to top this with some brown sugar. And some cinnamon. And then this one, I'm going to add some raisins. Just kind of push it in a little bit. And then I'm just going to roll this. Best I can. It's sticking a little bit. Just kind of pinch the ends and tuck it under. And then I have a loaf pan. Oops, I forgot to spray it. I'm just going to spray it and put this in there. And then I'm going to do my second loaf. And this one I will not add raisins. I'm going to add butter. Brown sugar. Cinnamon. And then I'm just going to roll this. Pinch the sides. Spray the pan. Put this in. And now I'm going to cover both of these loaves and let them rise until they're double in size, about 40 minutes. Okay, so these are ready now. I'm going to pop them in the oven at 350 degrees, but first I'm just going to beat up an egg, and I'm just going to brush a little bit of this egg on top of the bread. And this will make about 30 minutes. till it's nice and golden on top. Has kind of a hollow sound if you thump it. All right, I'm gonna pop these in the oven. All right, keep an eye on them, sis. All right, so here is the bread. I just pulled it out. This is definitely a bread you want to let cool before you get into, because if you can see on the side, it is bubbly and all that hot sugar is in there as well. All right, now today in school, I kind of touched on it a little bit. Luke is gonna make some yummy flour tortillas from scratch. So I'm not gonna have that to film for you. I also got some hamburger out. He's making this Russian recipe. It's like a hamburger pie, but you make it with fresh tortillas. So I will show you those if there's any left after they do school. I don't know who's gonna be really hungry for dinner or not, but we're excited to make that. He loves to cook, so we're gonna make that. And yeah, and real quick, a couple questions I always like to answer them when I can, and that is, could I go to the food pantry? And that kind of questions. Can we get assistance from somewhere? We do not need that, but there is nothing wrong with that if someone does, and we highly encourage anybody, if you are following us because you do need to do that, to go do that. Again, there is nothing wrong with that. We have a ton of food in our house, and again, this is a challenge for us, is to get us to pay our debt off early and to get money together for some things that we need without going further into debt. None of that has to do with not having the money to buy the groceries. It's what we are prioritizing our money with. And so right now it is not on groceries, and I'm happily going through everything. So you keep hearing me say, this is the end of this is the last of that. I'm happily saying that because I want to get through this stuff so that it doesn't go bad, and then I'll get to restock it, and that'll be, you know, wonderful and fun. And some things, like I've told you guys, I will not be buying again, because we're trying to just do more and more from scratch and making it ourselves more than I do already, which I already do a lot. And that's why we're trying to kind of use up the last bit of packages and packaged type foods that we have. But we still have tons of food to go through, and we are not, you know, suffering at all. We are having wonderful meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Everybody's loving everything. So I mean, we're good. All right, I will see you guys at dinner. I just showed you lunch, and that was very good too. And that literally took me like 5 minutes to make, which is a good thing because I was exhausted. I'm still exhausted today because I didn't get to stop until last night. So probably tonight after I get this up for you, I'm just gonna chill out probably for the rest of the night. But yeah, I'll just see you, I guess, at dinner. If he does not make enough tortillas, then I will make some with you guys. And I'll show you this bread too when we go to cut into it that I just took out of the oven, because that's so good. I'll see you in just a bit. All right, everybody's getting into the bread now for a snack. So there is the cinnamon, and that's what it looks like. It is so good. And this is the cinnamon raisin loaf. Really don't see much of a difference, but you can see in there is some raisins, but they still look pretty much the same. My family will eat both of these loaves very fast. It is very, very good. You definitely should give it a try if you like cinnamon bread or cinnamon raisin bread. All right, so tonight for dinner, change of plans. So the pork is not all the way done. It was kind of frozen when I put it in, and on top of that, most of us are full because Luke made, we are studying Russia with school, and he made these little Russian meat pies, and they are so good, and everybody just kind of ate on those. We just made some tortillas from scratch, and then you fill them with this meat and onion mixture, and then you fry them. And so everybody is pretty full. Plus on top of that, everybody's been eating a lot of this bread, but a couple people did not want to eat that. So what I did have is one lonely box of Hamburger Helper. So for those that didn't want to eat it, I already had ground beef out because I needed it to make it for this recipe that I did with Luke. So we are gonna cook up this hamburger helper, and I've got the meat already going here. And that's it for those that didn't eat on the meat pies, which were really, really good. And then tomorrow, I'm gonna share with you guys the tortilla recipe that we made tonight, because it was really good tortillas. And we will have the pork tomorrow, either for lunch or for dinner, undecided, because I also now have a lot of ground beef out. So I'm not sure about tomorrow yet. But yeah, I'm just gonna make this hamburger helper. It's one lonely box. It's not something I buy very often. I don't even know when I got it, but it's still fine. You need 1.5 cups of hot water, 2 cups of milk. So for the milk part though, I'm just gonna use that evaporated milk that I have going. I probably have 2 cups worth of that left still in the fridge from the other day. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna make. Okay, and with that, I'm gonna just set out the leftover broccoli and cheese, and we will have that. And then, as you can see from the cooking lesson, I have a lot of cleaning up to do. All right, so here is the hamburger helper, and that and broccoli for those that did not eat the meat hand pies. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up. I'm about to go cut Charles's hair, and I don't think we mentioned that in ways that we have cut money. I also do all the cutting of the hair, cut my own, I color my own, I do the kids. The only one who I don't is Brooke, because she wants a really short haircut kind of style. So I'm actually taking her to get her haircut on Friday. And I don't Luke because, well, that's tomorrow. And I don't Luke because it took us, what, probably 9 years to get him to go to a hairdresser. We are not messing that up. So he does go get his cut. But everybody else, I do everybody else's hair. So I'm gonna go cut his hair, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Hope all of you guys have a great day or night wherever you are, and we'll be back tomorrow. Bye, everybody.